This is my game changer for delivering exceptional service when safeguarding homeowners' property values and maintaining staff efficiency. Today's episode, we're going to talk about uncovering the most overlooked work in private service, one that distinguishes between housekeeping and world-class estate management. And it doesn't matter what size home you live in. The overlooked connection between your investment in your real estate and your staff's payroll will be looking at your home's ROI, your peace of mind, or your headspace in the home that you own and live in and raise your family in. Stick with me, because today I'm sharing what it felt like to be an estate manager barely staying afloat and how one planning session changed everything. If you're new here, welcome to Dear Billionaire. You've discovered this unique space where we discuss enhancing relationships and service within your home. I'll provide tips for homeowners and private service professionals to manage your household with efficiency, discretion, and ease. I'm Fore Dixon, and I offer strategies to help you achieve billionaire-level success in managing your household, domestic team, and your busy life. So be sure to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with anyone who could benefit from this highly specialized content. So before we dive in, let's clear up one misconception. And I hear this often. It's my home, it's not a business. Well, think about it this way. The truth is, because you employ staff, and most housekeeping budgets are bigger than small business budgets. $5 million is what I've managed in the past. That makes the operations within your home a business and not so small. So think about owning a business without a plan. You can't ensure its success. The same is true of your house. Think about it as a real estate and lifestyle business plan. So instead of focusing on sales, you're aligning your family's service needs and your property's maintenance requirements with the retention of trusted world-class staff to help you implement those requirements. Today, I'll show you how our strategic action plan can elevate the enjoyment of your home while reducing stress, not only on your family, but on your staff, and increasing efficiencies. So today I'm going to share my personal experiences with private service. In one of my roles as an estate manager, I was handed the keys literally and figuratively. I mean, it's happened more than once, with very little context. And the thought is, she'll figure it out. So within 90 days, and this is true for almost every single private service professional, they're expected to get up to speed with their own initiatives. However, without critical knowledge to do the job well, everyone will fall quickly into reactive mode because everything feels urgent. I was constantly putting out fires instead of preventing them. And typically within the first 90 days, you feel like you're drowning. Here's what was happening to me. Contractors were arriving and leaving on their own schedule without any oversight from my team. Team members were making big judgment calls about household improvements without approvals. They went directly to the principal for requesting time off. No. Projects were stuck when staff didn't know enough about the project to be making critical decisions like an electrical panel upgrade. They couldn't answer the contractor's questions. And when errors occurred, I was always held accountable. I quickly realized that my staff and contractors knew more about the principal's preferences and the house maintenance than I did. And that's the norm. But getting over that hill is the work that needs to be done, and the time it takes to do that is really time well invested. I began documenting with a very long list of questions that I needed answers for. I realized I needed a strategic meeting with the principals and key staff to gain important knowledge about the day-to-day operations and the home improvements projects, as well as the principal's desired outcome, so that I could take control and with confidence know that I was implementing their vision and doing my job effectively. Because I knew that there was no approved operating budget, I wasn't comfortable making purchases at any level or implementing operational changes without C-suite level approvals. I ended up documenting all of this on a 20-page list of questions and red flag issues that required decisions and significant expenditures and some approvals. I requested and scheduled an hour-and-a-half meeting with my principals, and it ended up being a 4-hour planning session. However, during that meeting, I gained direction and approvals for a year's worth of upgrades and business policy changes that would immediately reduce everyone's stress. But my staff would work with more confidence knowing how they needed to work. And it reassured my principals about quarterly initiatives and goals and cash flow requirements to maintain smooth operations. Some of the results of that 4-hour meeting were that we gained approval to kennel the principals' dogs during their vacation. The principals were completely unaware that this was a burden on my staff and that they were struggling to provide pet care. No one had brought this to their attention. And the principals thought, well, we have staff on payroll, the dogs are low maintenance, so what's the big deal? But what we found out was there was really only one staff member who lived close enough to the home so that on the weekends, he was really the only one that could care for the dogs easily. And it ended up that we also needed him to work a full-time, regular, scheduled service during the week. So it was an exhausting back and forth for one person on the team, and no one felt good about it. Also, the contractors started getting paid on time because through the contractor MOU, or Memorandum of Understanding, they started understanding where to email invoices and that their current insurance certificate had to be on file before we were going to release payment. The chef also developed a list of the family's favorite takeout restaurants as well as their usual orders so that when she took time off, someone else could provide food service for the family. Staff were also given permission to politely decline a dinner invitation from the principal's parents, who, when they came for dinner, would casually say, "Hey, why don't you join us for dinner?" And the staff was confused about whether this was appropriate or not. So just being able to make these small decisions and get feedback put everyone's mind at ease. We also implemented a proposal system that required staff to present a question or a project in a one-page format that asked questions about options of whatever they were working on or cost. And it allowed them to provide options, cost, and then provide a recommendation, because that staff person wouldn't be on staff if they didn't have some valuable experiences. So we want to give them that autonomy, and we need to get clear directives so that they can keep moving forward and getting things done. The principals also appreciated being asked about the details of what staff were working on, what they had questions about, and they enjoyed the deeper level of communication about improving their property and being brought into those conversations. Not everybody enjoys that, but work out that type of protocol, or maybe a dollar threshold of anything above $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever that is, so that you put together parameters about when to ask questions and wait for answers. But the bigger sigh of relief from my staff, from all of these strategic meetings and red flag documentation and questions, were that they received relief knowing that even if the children's laundry wasn't done, which it was supposed to be their responsibility, they were not to wash anything even when the kids ran out of clean socks. So immediately, the staff's stress level decreased significantly, and it allowed them to stop guessing and focus on more productive work. This allowed me to create an operating budget for the upcoming year that incorporated absolutely every project and initiative and pre-approved staff bonus allocations. I got to determine who received those, but that chunk of money was already pre-approved, so we didn't have to wait at the end of the year to have that conversation when no one wants to talk about that with the holidays looming. The family was getting what they wanted, which were more efficient services, completed projects with no surprises, and a known operating budget so that they could manage cash flow. Staff felt a significant sense of relief knowing their projects were in alignment with the principal's needs, and ultimately a bonus structure was in place. It kept everybody highly attuned to delivering service excellence. Budgets aligned with the family's needs, and additional expenses or those surprises were minimal, and it allowed us to get easier approvals knowing the other costs that were already known and approved. Strategic planning requires some effort. I'm not going to lessen that message. However, homeowners who purchase large homes that need full-time staff to help maintain that, they want to feel assured that their investments help safeguard their assets and their quality of life. Too many estate operations work in reactive mode, solving problems instead of preventing them. Without a strategic plan, even the best staff can't read your mind or predict the future. This will help minimize those unexpected decisions and prevent equipment failure. It takes a lot of energy and stress to do that guesswork. If there's no plan or budget in place, staff constantly ask for approvals, or worse, they make guesses. They stress when the AC unit goes down, knowing that the contractor last year recommended its replacement. And then the principals are left thinking, why didn't anybody tell me that this unit needed to be replaced? Strategic planning allows estate managers to coordinate appropriate timing, eliminating the need to hear, why didn't you organize the garage when we were traveling? A strategic plan allows everyone to know the what, when, and how of household operations. This is your customized roadmap for clarity, efficiency, and continuity across staff, properties, and your expectations. Your home should reflect your lifestyle and your dreams, and that means more than beautiful finishes. It means thoughtful, proactive, and aligned operations. A strategic action plan isn't about control. It's about freedom and flexibility. Freedom from fire drills, from confusion, from underperformance, so that unexpected emergencies are minimized and staff handles these from a place of ease. If your home is evolving, expanding, or falling short, it's time to stop reacting and start leading. With a strategic action plan, you'll transform your household into a well-run, peaceful home you've always envisioned. Please reach out if you'd like to discuss with me how I can help you develop that plan. Next week, I'll be sharing with you my tips on how to bridge the gap between your family office and your household staff. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.